So we are going to execute today some sample APIs in the Postman. So we know already HTTP verb methods: get, post, put, patch, delete. So all these five, if you practice, we're good. So manually first understand how it works and what is that JSON structure and what is the output format, and then we can automate them. So without understanding the API, so endpoint URLs, it's not possible to automate. So even functional UI test cases or API testing, anything, first you need to understand how it works. So what is the structure of that JSON, and what kind of status code it is throwing, and all data preparation is another very challenging in the API testing. See, parameters, you have to give values. Those values you have to get it properly. Sequencing of the APIs also matter. If there is a dependency on one on the other. So then, so in our blog you have API documentation. This is the one, API documentation related URL. Please go and grab it and open in the on Notepad, and open your Postman also. Open your Postman also. First, we'll create a collection. What is a collection? A collection is a group of requests. Say group of requests will be there, and folders will be there, and then you can add validations. Basically, you are creating multiple requests in one folder, and you can run as a suite. It's a kind of suite for the API test cases. That's a collection. So how to create a collection in the Postman? So click on new. Okay, click on new and select here collection. Collection. Okay. So it is offline. Yeah, collection you create and give, I think, two collections. Delete one. So this I can change. Okay, this. Let me rename this because will confuse. Okay.
Ramesh, we have to sign up for Postman
Yeah.
because it is not allowing me to.
Yeah, you're right. You have to sign up.
A
So
business
yesterday,
email or any email will do.
any email. You will get an option there, Gmail. You can, any email you can use.
Okay.
It's up to you. So click on new, select the collection and give the name. So whatever the name you want, Postman API. Okay. So we are writing Postman API. So May 16th, 2024. So that's our collection name I have given. See here in this, we don't have any request. So in this, we don't have any request. If you want to add a request, you can see if you mouse over here, so you will get, if you get a 3 dots. So there are a lot of options are there. You can add a request, you can add a folder. By creating a folder, you can organize your all the things. For example, I want to add a folder. So I'll add a folder. So what is my folder name? I'll give a folder name. So unauthorized. So under that, I'll create a new request. So that request is, I'm going to create a So add a request. So new, and I'm going to give a URL. So let's change this name. This is unauthorized. So unauthorized request. So for this, you have to give the URL. So we are practicing on this collection, right? Collections. So you take any collection, okay? Get all collections. So this URL I am taking. Copy this URL and go to this and just give it here. So that's the one endpoint URL, the postman who URL and the endpoint. This is the endpoint. Then I want to give headers. Let's go and give the headers. Accept application JSON. You see, just type and you will get automatically here. Application JSON. Content type. So application JSON. So that's it. So then you hit the send button. See what is the error you are getting? 401 unauthorized. So this is the bottom portion is response section and the top portion is a request section. So you're requesting with the get method with this endpoint URL and using this request headers and you got the response. This is the response box and the status code you got 401 unauthorized. So that is the response thing, you got it. Now, so this save it, okay, save this request, but we haven't added any test cases. So we need to add a test case. How do you know this is a 401 only display? Always it has to display 401 when you are not giving a token. So all the postman request must require this token. If token is not there, it doesn't work out. If token is not there, it's not going to work out. See, here very clearly mentioned on the top. If you go to the top, here they're telling. So create a collection, delete collections. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So this is the collection, post collection. Say create a collection using Postman collection v2 schema format. Includes collection object. But you can see here, so info name schema, we can give the schema here of this one. And item, so an object. So and you can see here they're telling very clearly. So how you need to provide. Request is using authorization helper. So you need to provide authorization. So that's a mandate. And the request body you need to provide. And this is then you will get a response. Then you'll get a response 200 okay. So once you view the data, it will create the collection and you can get it. But how can we generate this authorization token? See, Postman is going to use, there is a one, see, 401 unauthorized, it will be shown. See, authentication. So we'll get a 401 somewhere. So you can specify this API keys using X API key. You can generate a Postman API key in the API keys section of your Postman account settings. So just click on this. Here you can generate the API keys. So passwords is a bigger problem. We'll keep on forgetting these passwords. Let me. So you'll get a generate API token. Like first we need to log in account settings. So select your avatar in the Postman header. Then select settings in the account settings page. Then select API keys. So where is our Postman? So account settings. Not there. So API is where you can. Let me go to our blog. So in our blog, it is very clearly mentioned. Okay, so this is the downloading, and we have. Let me share this. Yeah, so this is the documentation. Okay, so this is the one documentation, and this is the another documentation. Authorization key. Here it is the authorization. Just open this in another tab. So, but login is mandatory. Okay, so you have to log in. See, we got it. So we got. So directly API keys you can see here, settings, me, API keys. So click on generate. Maybe I'm deleting this old one. So I'll delete it, old one. So let's use a new one, generate key. So, and test API key, generate it. So copy this so that it will be useful for you. So I'll just keep it somewhere. I'm keeping here, okay? So then you go to Postman. So why we got this error, you already know now, because the Postman server need authorization token. If you don't provide the authorization token, so it will throw this 401 unauthorized. So that's why we are going to give the authorization token. So let me create one more, okay, get collection. I'll create one more folder. So one more folder I'll create. New folder. I'm creating all folders. Folders, multiple folders I'll create. Okay. So this folder name I'll give get request. Okay. Get request, get collection. Okay. So next, this I will change it to I'll change it to create collection. So this I'll create delete collection. So one more we need, right, for edit. So organizing, basically you can observe that organizing, we are just organizing this. So all the, so say edit, update collection, maybe I'll put update collection. Okay, so these are the folders we created, right? So this is what we created. Now, so now get collection, create a request. So I'm creating a request. So get all collections. So the name you can give, get all collections. That's the first request. So first create the first request. Okay, so this is the collections API, and the headers you need to give accept application JSON. So content type, application JSON. This is the request headers we are giving. Then the token you need to provide XAPI key. So you have X-API-key. So then copy that. So this one you give this, that key you provide here. So before, if you don't provide the key, it was throwing some error, right? It was throwing some error. It was throwing error. And so we got a 401 unauthorized error. So that is the status code, you got it. Now you have given the token. Now let's see, click on send. See, you got a data. So 200 okay, and your get method is passed now. So 200 okay, and see collection names. So collections is an array, and first collection, so it has an ID, name, owner, created at, updated at, UID is public. So like this, you have all the different collections because it's array. Basically, it's an array. Okay. So this is the JSON object, and this is the JSON array name. Array starts from here. So first element, second element, like that you can find out. So this is the one JSON object, and this is the another JSON object. So like that you can find out. Now, how can you validate this? Because now we are not validating anything, right? So how can you validate it? So in order to validate this, so what you need to do here is go to scripts tab, So go to scripts tab and see there is a post response. So post response, you have to write the status first, status you need to validate. And in the left side, you can see there is a lot of ready-made code is available there. So for validating status code, you have one. You can just come down slowly. You can see status code 200. So just select this. Automatically, the function will create for you. See like this. PM means postman dot test. Postman test. Status code is 200. You can write a meaningful message saying that get all collections. Status code is 200. See, automatically this is validating PM dot response to have status 200. And this one I validated. So I have written the code, ready-made code I have taken. But I need to validate this status message also. Status code you validated, but status message also we need to validate. M dot response dot to be. See all the status code messages: accepted, bad request, client error, forbidden, not found, okay. Now we want okay, right? Just select the okay. So this is the another thing you can validate. So that's what we validated. One thing. So first validation is done. Status code validation is done. So as part of API testing, what you are going to verify, what you are going to validate, that's an interview question. As part of API testing, first verification you can do, status code is correctly showing or not. When you send button, click on the send button, the response status code is same, proper or not. So you need to validate. That's what we are validating here. Then what about other? So about the response body fields, we can write another one. We can write another. So whatever you want to validate, you can validate. So there is no issue in that. You can validate whatever you want. See, for example, I want to validate. So the first collection name, this is the first collection name I want to validate. So how can I get this first collection data? So very simple, the path, basically you have to give this path. Basically you have to give this path. So you have to give this path. So collections and then array name first element dot of which parameter, name parameter or owner parameter, which one you want to give. So that is so you need to give complete path to get any of these things. So for that here a ready-made code also there. Still you have response body JSON value check. Response body contains a string. So response body is equal to string. Response headers content type header check. So you can lot of code is readily available here. So status code successful post request. For post request, you can take this. Success status code name has a string. Response body convert XML body to a JSON object. So you have a lot of ready-made code already given by Postman. You can use that. So let me write one simple JSON body validation. Okay, I'll validate this JSON body. So let's do that. So contains a string response body, JSON value check. Let's do that. Another test case. So another test case I'm adding. So I'll write response body validation. That's my test case name. Get all collections. So response body validation. Okay. Now see that. So JSON data, this entire thing is a JSON data you are storing, pm dot response dot JSON. So it converted into JSON format and it is available here. Now, so you want to validate anything, you can write it pm dot expect JSON data dot value, whatever you want. This is the, we are going to modify all this. So I'm going to modify this. So to be equal, I want name, this name I want to validate. So I can simply write that JSON data dot. So next one is collections of 0 dot name, right? Name to equal this value, this one. So you can write like this. So you can write like this. So this is the two, like that you can add multiple. Okay, you can add multiple. So I just added one verification. Let's run this. If it is not working, we can so see that. Let's run this. Send keys. You send this. See 200. Okay. See, can you see here test result? Go to test result. See, first test case is passed. That means status code validation is done. Message validation is done. Second test case. See in the JSON data response body collections array, first collections array name, first collections array name to equal this one. That is correct, right? If you go and see here, and that's what the, so the collections array, the first array element, the name is, this is a, so that's how you need to write the validations, pm dot expect. So how you can write a validations in Postman, pm dot expect, and you get the response body data field. You just give the parameter. That value should be equal to your expected value. This is the expected value. So this is how you can write a validations. So then we have another one. Okay. So we have another one. Here we didn't write a test cases. Let's go and write the test cases for this. So the test cases is first 401 unauthorized, right? So take the status code one. I'll change it. So unauthorized status code 401. Okay. So now you can give here 401. Instead of 200, you just give 401. But unauthorized, you also need to validate, right? Write that pm is postman response dot to be dot say unauthorized. So you will get unauthorized. That's it. See that how easy to, so you put a dot, you will get automatically the next step also. See, this is the one validation we have written, but we want to validate this also, right? This message, I want to validate name value, message value, I want to validate. How can you validate that? So let's go and do that. That also, two test cases. This is the one test case, status code related one test case. And response body validation, another test case. So these are the different test cases what you can validate as part of API testing. Means you can tell status code and status code message validations we can do. Apart from that, the response body fields validation we can do. So the validation is correct or not, you can do that. So let's go and do that. So JSON value check. So this is the one. So you can take any this one or JSON value checking. It's up to you. So unauthorized response body field validation. Say pm dot expect, that's the method we are going to use. Pm dot expect, pm dot response dot text, but I don't want to use text. Pm dot response. See, I'm going to give, if you want to validate a text, you can use a text, but I'm not validating text. I want to validate name. See that? But this name directly, it is not, right? You cannot give. First, JSON data means maybe you can write a like how we have written previously. So in the, so where JSON data, so equal to pm dot response dot JSON. So now you can remove this. You don't need every time pm dot response. Just use the variable JSON data dot. But where, how can you navigate from this? JSON data means this entire thing is the JSON data. But how can you navigate to this field? So JSON data dot, what is the next field? Error dot name. That's a path you have to give, complete path. So next one is error dot name. So the name value to equal. So equal, I'm giving equal method. So you can give this one, authentication error. That's it. So this is the how you can write the, so even message, if you want, you can validate message also. Write one more. pm dot expect parenthesis, and maybe to include you can put, so text include you can put, otherwise. So JSON data dot text function to include, so this value. Maybe you can give invalid API key. You can give partial, not required complete. So this JSON body contains the text, this one or not is going to validate. So this is the all the, so how you can so write a test cases. Without test case, just writing a method name, endpoint URL and headers doesn't make sense. So you have to write the test cases under scripts. So click on send button. See that? 401 unauthorized test cases, one is failed. See, unauthorized response field validation. JSON data text is not a function. Okay, this text is not a function, it is saying. So maybe I'll tell JSON data error dot. So what is the body?